All right, testing. Can you guys hear me? Not today. Too big of a move for that one. I think we hit this eventually, and that's a major rally off this level, but not today. Yeah, I think we bounce here. I think Google and AMD rally today. So my bias is we rally today. It's not to say that we can't grind lower. My main level on QQQ was hit this morning in pre-market, literally right here, guys. Is it possible that we actually revisit it? That would be a blessing because then we would get maximum profits. But since we're in a position where it's hit it in pre-market, the idea will be to go for Friday longs at the open immediately in the money, like a couple dollars down. So that way, even if we retrace, it's a position to hold into the entire day and tomorrow. And then if we get blessed with a low of day sweep, we'll go intraday, same day expirations, and get like a multi-bagger. Like you can already see it powering up, which we closed our future calls this morning just because they didn't play out the way I wanted. But I was also working from my phone and in bed. So I didn't see that they hit this. Otherwise, I literally would have held the position and we'd probably be up like 25% right now. But instead, we just took the 12% profit. Yeah, it's starting to power up. This is getting annoying. Hopefully, I would like some type of retracement. But as I was saying yesterday, we're in multi-day demand. And just to confirm, everyone on all platforms, can somebody please tell me you hear me so I'm not wasting my breath? So Baba's straight rallied out of the 111 level last week. Remember, like 106 to 111 is the buy zone, cut it under 106. MSTR straight jumped out of the buy zone last week as well of under 90 and then rallied it for I think 7% yesterday. There's an inverse head and shoulder setting up in my buy zone again on Mara. It's possible that plays out, guys. Just making you aware. That 1025 to 1150. It's not my focus today, but it is something you can look at. Give me a second, Alex. I'm still figuring this out. I'm just getting my charts ready. Okay, let's see. So the trades I'm looking at today are SPY or QQQ calls. Since we're in the middle and we've rallied, I told you we'd get a gap up. We got a little bit of a gap up on SPY. We're still red on QQQ, which is a beautiful thing. So what I'm going to do is I'll probably do like Friday expiration QQQ calls just because we're closer to this level. And honestly, this might be a tech push more than a SPY push. And then I'm looking at AMD and Google for bottoms. Google's kind of in my buy zone. Here, let me actually copy this twice just so that you guys can see what I see when I. So as you guys can see, I called the low. I called the sell off on AMD last week, and then I called the low today or yesterday out of my indicator buy zone. Let me go and make that purple for you guys so you guys don't get confused. And sure enough, we got the 4% rally, and then we got the gap down. So I think this is a bullish divergence. I think this is a bear trap. I think we get a rally off this in this area down to like 460. Current price is 473. The easiest way to do this is we're in demand. Draw your descending resistance, buy the breakout. Okay, make it simple. Don't complicate it. Same thing with Google here. Yes, we can go a little bit lower, but that's why we just got our descending resistance breakout. Could we catch the low? Absolutely, maybe. But this is a monthly demand zone. Remember, my high time frame demand and supply zones are gold. So in a perfect world, this sells off, taps this 311, 310 area, and then we rip from there. Let me actually make sure I have Tesla pulled up too. Tesla is most likely a buy as well, if you just think about it logically. It's just bouncing around, grinding out this 308 bottom level that I was talking about. It even went a little bit lower, but you can draw a decent resistance and buy the breakout. It's a little bit tougher just because, once again, we rallied off the lows. I always like to buy the absolute lows, but we could literally rip from here. And that's what I made the mistake with AMD yesterday with the puts. I hesitated and just knife dropped right at the open and just never looked back for a negative 8% drop. And realistically, if I was to draw the QQQ here, it's already breaking out and it's just basing for a rally. So I'm going to buy the QQQ Friday calls immediately at the open. I'm going to take a start. I'm not going to go deep. And then what I want to do is I would like for it to just sweep the low. If it sweeps this low, I'm going to be really bullish. And then I'm going to go heavy. I'm watching SPY, but SPY is not my focus. I think QQQ is going to be my focus. I really think 745 to 747 will probably be handicapped with SPY, which means we could see like a 0.8% rally, but we could see like a 2% rally in QQQ. So we can get better gains out of QQQ. All right, let me go ahead and take a look at what we might be buying. So from our future calls this morning, we're already up a band, so we have some profit to risk. If you didn't take those trades, be a little bit more careful. Maybe stay with the Friday expirations. Remember, guys, my accuracy is mainly my first two trades. I overtrade because I'm ADHD and I like to play this as a video game. So after the first two trades, it's just better to not even follow me. All right. Take the first two trades, bounce. If you are not green on the month, take your little wins. Don't hit for home runs. If you only buy one option contract, when I buy multiple, and if I say I trim, you close your entire position on the first trim. Okay, you don't swing for a home run if you only got one contract. You just got to take your small wins and build your equity in your account, and then you can buy more contracts, and then you can afford to trim. But until you can afford to trim, you close your contract on the first trim. Peter, I can't. I don't have time to explain that. So the first hour and a half is going to be let's make money, and then if you guys have questions, chart reviews, I can do that around lunchtime. I'll be on most of the day today. So I'm probably going to take a starter in AMD and QQQ right away, right at the open. All right, let me look at QQQ. So we're at 677. What day is Friday expiration? The 31st. I'll do Friday expiration, 676 QQQ calls. Okay. There you go. Bleed it. Please bleed it, AMD. Give me more. Give me more. These AMD calls are buffed. You have to be careful because the spread on some equities are like so wide. So be careful in the AMD buy right out of the gate. QQQ will have more than enough liquidity so you won't get ripped off. But sometimes some of these equities, man, they can literally have like a 25% spread and you buy something and you're down 25% as soon as you buy it. I'm looking at tomorrow expiration for 85 calls on AMD. All right. I have my QQQ calls open. I'm literally buying at the open. I'm not waiting for a price. I'm not waiting for anything. And then that's my long call for the week. And then if we sweep that low of 673, then I'll add intraday calls. And then I'm going to look at the spread of AMD and see if it's safe to buy. If it's safe to buy, I'm going to buy it right here, like immediately. It's possible we bleed a little bit until 10 a.m., but I think after 10 a.m., we see the reversal by 11 a.m. Oh, fuck, there was a big gap. All right. My QQQ called around 10, I think. Now I'm looking at the AMDs. AMD immediately shot up like I knew it would. It's a dollar. It's like 20% spread, guys. Be careful. So I'm going in at 620 and I'm going to raise it 20 cents until it fills because the spread is so nasty. So be careful. Okay, mine filled at 640. So hopefully that spread isn't too nasty. We'll see what happens here. All right, so I'm in the 485s with a cost basis of 640 and I'm in the QQQ calls with a cost basis of 990. Here is my Tesla chart. All right, I'm opening up the QQQ intradays. I'm going to do 676 as well for intradays. I'm going to go ahead and take a starter in a second. They're around $3 right now. I'm going to take a starter right now just in case. Filled at 296. Neo's ripping. It's got inverse head and shoulders, guys, and it broke out the descending The descending resistance from the July high. Be mindful of that. It could literally power up here if the market goes green, which I think it's going to. The AMD calls are down 20% because that sweep low. I took a tomorrow expiration Tesla 310 call as well. Don't take that one unless you have a lot of profit on last week. That one's a little more riskier. If you're pretty red on the week, I wouldn't even do the intradays. Just do the Friday expirations. They're a lot safer. Oh my God, AMD's -7%. That's wild. There's no way they're going to knife it down to a 13% drop. That would be almost 2 times the parabolic candle. Nah, they're full of shit. They're not going to do that. No way. -6% plus that's an 11% drop, 12% drop. I'm gonna buy another QQQ call, same day expiration, around 250, 244 fill. Yeah, the Netflix is bottom is in for at least a 20% move. You guys can see Nike and Lululemon being generational buy opportunities. Doesn't matter how red the market gets, it just keeps getting bought up. You just DCA those. And then Tesla is coming up in the next few weeks for a major buy. Buying another QQQ same day for 272. And then I'm gonna sit on my hands. I'm blind. Where the hell's? I was like, what? Confused for a second there. fuck, I was wanting to look at something. Yeah, my hidden indicators are still telling me that this is bullish. It's just they're melting QQQ while holding up the mega caps. Okay, so they are going to sweep this low. Wynn bought another intraday at $2. Just building that position. I'm going to buy another one even. All right, I'm looking for the bottom, like literally right around here. 938 is also sometimes a historic bottom of the day level. Let's see if this is right. Okay, it's at the 100-day. In demand, multi-day demand. I'm buying some more. Around 176. Kind of 8%. It should calm down right here. Buying more QQQ. All right, let's get a ripper. Negative 1.3. So negative like 1.5 is like unrecoverable. Mute yourself, JB. All right. The intradays are only down negative 16%. If you took the ETH puts yesterday, ETH puts, they're up 40% right now. wouldn't, would they? Huh. Man, they're literally just holding it. They have 12%. It's only negative 10% right now. $6.50. Literally the bottom of it. This SPY bleed is wild, 1.7, but the mega caps are literally green. This has to reverse. $1.8. This isn't good. It's too much of a drop for it to literally go green. This crash might be worse than I expected. Are they just going to waterfall it? Fixes in supply. Dude, it's literally in weekly demand and it's knifing right through it. They would consider that broken. Hmm. They're being really aggressive with this. Can't believe they actually knifed it through all the way to the bottom of the weekly demand. All right. Here's the recovery attempt. Let's see what we do here. I should squeeze this. Probably the same reaction as yesterday, where they overextended the drop and then they literally rallied it back to the highs. My bias is we bottom here and then we rally into FOMC tomorrow. Just grind higher all day and tomorrow. That's my thought process here. Okay, the Tesla calls are up 14%. I'm going to go ahead and close those for 14% profit just because of this overshoot in QQQ. I want to de-risk a little bit. Even though I think Tesla could go, it's just, it kind of hurt my, like, I don't like the fact that we went this low. So I want to de-risk the market a little bit. So I sold the Tesla calls at 14% profit. Let me see what cost basis that was. I sold at 315. Bought at 270, sold at 315 for 16% profit. If Google and AMD break these purple demand zones, this can get a lot worse. Because right now you have QQQ down negative 1.6%, but the mega caps are literally green, which means they're holding up the market. So if they gave up, this could literally be like a negative 4% day on QQQ. So we need to be mindful of this. Like it really can't exceed 2%, which is a 668 bottom. Now, given yesterday, the sell off was negative, positive 1.5% to negative 1%. It was literally a 2.5% swing, and then they literally rallied almost to green. So they're playing games right now. They're manipulating the market excessively, and people aren't used to this. Even me, like they should have. I really thought they were going to do this, but this is an overshoot. So as long as we can still sustain this purple box, we'll climb out of it. Hut just literally 120 to $94, down negative 10% on the day. Wrecked. Called that last week. I mean, if you bought the weeklies up there, guys, make sure you add down here, right? I was adding to the intradays. You can add to the weeklies. Like my bias right now is we rally all day into tomorrow's FOMC, and then I think it's possible we crash again, or we rally like almost the rest of the week, and we chop on the top side of the range. I still don't think SPY 747 gets breached, but I think we can trade around there on the highs. The strike call was on the screen. I just like knifed through it. Where the hell did the AMD one go? There it is. Why does it keep disappearing? Okay. Really? Okay, there we go. I'm like, what in the world? It's trolling me. All right. Those are the options right now. Are they really going to rush this? There's no way. Bor, I don't have an opinion on Microsoft. Actually, I think I do. I think I posted it in Discord yesterday. Just search Microsoft before you ask. Okay. Something I don't like to see is the breakdown of the mega cap chart, which I just saw. We don't want to see lower lows here. We want to see it hold because this is a bear flag. It was a demand zone on the daily time frame. Like this is multiple day demand. But if it starts breaking below, it becomes structure for supplier demand based on the direction it takes. Rip it, QQQ. Come on now. I bought some more QQQ intradays. So if you are in the weeklies, buy the weeklies. All right, my cost basis for the intradays are 174. Cost basis for the weeklies are 990. So I'm down 30% on the 990s or the weeklies. My main bias is a rally this week that fells, and then we crash into like the first week of August. I hope. I mean, like I didn't think we would just crash to the first week of August, which could happen. But usually they search for liquidity. They just don't go one direction for 7% straight. But if we start giving the up to 668 on QQQ, then they might literally just keep slamming it until Tesla goes under 290 and a few other names get into really ridiculously oversold territory like AMD down to 430. building liquidity here for something. Remember, guys, if you're not red on the, or green on the month, don't size up. You have to take small trades until you can build your account to get green. Take the small wins. Don't swing for home runs. FOMC tomorrow. So I wanted to see. Okay, so it's 10 o'clock. Google should rally here. All right, and then this is possibly like one of these, but it needs to rally. AMD needs to rally and recover here too. It can't make a lower low. It gets really risky if so. Starts invalidating any type of recovery here. Mute your mic, Hazen. All right, here's the recovery attempt. All right. We should make it fairly easy to the 38% fibs. Shorts are going to try to step in at the 1 minute white line and the 50% fibs. So we should rally to 673.50 fairly easy. I would like to think so. Miners getting decimated. Inverse head and shoulders failing on Mara. Very close to invalidating. HUT went from 120 to low 95s. Mini names down more than 7%. Called that. What's green? We got now is green, but it was up significantly and it's not doing anything. Target, one of my generational opportunities. Netflix, just bullying, up 4%. Called that bottom. Said it would persevere through the redness. China names are slightly green. Baba's just barely red. If the market can heat up, those can go significantly green. I think, like I mentioned, I think Bitcoin and ETH are looking a little bit trappy. I think they're going to mess around and then really sell off at the end of the week. I'm looking for, at least the 50% retracement, but more so like the 61 on ETH. So what's that mean? It means 5% minimum to 8%. I said I was looking for, like 60 to 62K on Bitcoin. It's making its way there. It's right at 63. It's like 3% away. There we go. Squeeze it. That's what I'm talking about. We should get that 673, 50% fib fairly easy. If it starts squeezing through that, it's a good sign. These AMD calls dropped like significantly, like 60, 70% from where I bought them. Just a heads up. So it could continue. Or at least the risk to reward was a lot better down here if you were just sitting on your hands for both my positions. And when we hit that 50% fib, my intraday QQQ should be almost green. I think I'm going to close them, then half position deeper in the money, just because I didn't anticipate this to drop down to 668. I thought we would really stop around like the low 670s. So 676 is up here. So if we turn around for 2 hours, just the options I'm in will literally just struggle to be green. So I'd rather get like 670s. So I don't have decay. So I'm not fighting decay through time. All right, so I have my intraday QQQs up. I'm going to sell these as soon as we get to around the 50% fib. I'm not looking at the percentage of loss. I care about repositioning to safer contracts. You see how they're trying to just stop at the 38? I figured they would try there, but they should fail. I don't like to see that. So currently I'm in the options that are on the screen. I'm currently red on the options that I bought too, because I bought them earlier. So the risk to reward is better down here, but this sell-off is a lot more aggressive than I anticipated. So just be careful. Don't size up if you're not green on the month. Don't keep adding because you're red. Be careful. Yeah, that's complete reversal. I don't like that. I should have just did it right to 38 just to be safe. This decay is going to ruin my intraday trade. It's wild. I really hate this. Inverse head and shoulders never play out. I don't like this at all. Like 90% of the time on the 1 minute charts, they never play out. And for them to happen, they have to happen like fast, like in the next 2 minutes. Otherwise, what they're doing is they're just trapping retail buyers. They're like, oh, look, an inverse head and shoulders. Let me trade it. Squeeze. Baba just chilling, trying to go green on the day. It is green on the day. One of our main buys this week. It needs to happen quicker. Quicker. Inverse head and shoulders didn't play out because it's a scam. All right, this isn't good. We're starting to get negative 2%. So really going to wait for midday. All right, so with AMD breaking under this purple line, we have till 11 o'clock for this to curl up. So what I'm expecting and anticipating for a bullish outcome over the next 2 trading days is a curl into the back end of this hour. We should make this see a V shape, which should turn this red candle green. If we close 11 o'clock under this and Google closes under this, this is a bad crash. And they don't plan on like letting up, which I warned about in the Sunday newsletter. But once again, I thought we'd be able to trade liquidity, but they're not playing very nice, as you can see. Damn, I really wish I would have did the 38% retracement and got better in the monies. That's too far out now. For the intradays. So I don't think they can take this green today, but they could rally to like 0.50 red and then gap up tomorrow. This 38% rejection makes me think that this was a wave 4 and this is a wave 5. Right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which could justify I can't believe this is pushing for that. I'm looking for a curl into the second half of this hour, guys. You can see mega cap starting to power up over here, and Tesla literally is down to 300. That's cute. Yeah, those are similar to what we're in, Scoop. I mean, I have to get an idea for this next hour. This next hour is going to create a basis. That's wild. Look what they're doing to AMD. I really wish I would have bought Friday expirations yesterday. This is happening, and they're literally keeping VIX suppressed. This is wild. It's funny. All right, we're still getting a base around this bottom of this weekly demand, guys. We should see a pop. We should see an attempt here. This is a wave 5, then we're looking at another 50% retracement before an ABC wave minimum. So 673 area should still be easily obtained. Remember, on the second half of this window, I want to see a curl. If I see a curl, this could be very bullish into the rest of the week. We need follow up if we just get a curl in the hourly candles. I want to see these hourly candles attempt to go green. If we break down and see, QQQ is not asking for much to be green on the hourly candle. You know, dollar or two, that's nothing. You know, maybe 670. Just, it's the fact that Tesla's at 300 is so crazy to me. It's telling me that it's almost telling me that they literally don't want to rally this. They want to take Tesla to its bottom before they let up, which I mentioned the level in Discord. All right, attempt number 2. Let's see it. I'm going to do an extra intraday QQQ call. I'm going to do 671s here intraday. I'm buying it at 201. This I'm just looking for. I'm looking for a pop, and I'm going to sell it. All right, I got in at 201. At that white line, I'm going to sell it right here. That's going to be like 20% profit. I got in at 201. And I'm selling it. Got in at 201, got out at 236 for 23% profit. Now, that was probably really hard. Be fast X and YouTube if you guys are doing that because you guys are on 20-second delay. Okay. Okay, so that quick trade right there helped me a little bit on the day. We were green significantly from the futures calls, and then I was slightly red on the day, and then that has me around baseline right here. I'm slightly red. If we get the rally, we should be significantly green on the day. Got the QQQ, it's now green. That's what I said we needed, guys. See. AMD's at its descending resistance. Trying to make something out of nothing. I bought a 485 tomorrow expiration AMD call. Or not 485, sorry. 472.50 at 260. I'm looking for 20%. I want going for this SR flip right here. This is just going to be a quick in and out trade while I let the other ones turn. I'm looking for a rally up to 450. This should give me like 20%. $472.50 tomorrow expiration. Cost basis 271 is what I filled for. It's kind of a big ask, actually. We'll see if it executes. I'm going to add to the weekly 676 QQQ call to 640. There we go. Oh, come on. Oh, it's 10:30. A little 10:30 manipulation. These fills are kind of trash on this AMD. I have the liquidity on it. All right, I just closed the 472 AMD calls at 299 for 7% profit. Or 291, sorry. I'm surprised that even filled. I'm going to try to round robin this and put a buy order in at 261. See if I can get 2 trades out of this. Okay. There should be a pump here. All right, I'm canceling that 472 order. I don't think I'm going to get it. There's too much playing around here. I'd want to see like more, like a stronger push. So I'm canceling that 472. I'm going to just take that 7% profit and sit on my hands. No. Yeah, we should see a pump here. Yeah, those original 472s were up 20% now, but I closed. It's okay. I'm just trying to take small hits. I added to the weekly QQQs here. Just a reminder. Yeah, there's what I was looking for. We should see a pretty strong push into the second half of this hour. As you can see, AMD is almost green. That's really bullish. You're going to see this curl up. If you see both these curls up, AMD is a buy here, Google is a buy here on this hourly candle for the rest of the day. If those close in a curl, Google and AMD are a buy at the 11 o'clock hour. With those ads with the QQQ weeklies, my cost basis is 750, so we're close to break even now. We're 690. I think we see a rally to this 50% fibs fairly easy. The gray zone, I think we see a rally to that fairly easy. The reason being is that's the 100-day moving average. The 100-day moving average on the day is 673.06. I think that's an easy ask for a attempt. So that's also right here, but I'm going to go ahead and put right here. I think it back tests that with ease. If you're out of the money contracts, get out of those there. Man, yeah, those 676s are destroyed. I have so much decay. I should have closed them earlier. I might not even get whatever. Anyways. So I have the 676 same days. I'm going to close those at the blue line immediately. And then I'm going to go for 670 QQQs with 70% of what I sold. Actually, let me think on this more. With a negative 2% drop, the odds of us rallying to green today are like slim to none. So I think same days are out of the question after the blue line. So what I'll actually do is I'll do half the amount for tomorrow expiration at 670s. And then I'll wait to see if we dip between 11 and 12 o'clock to add to that position for some type of grind higher into the close. That's the move I'm going to go with. If we can get it. Right now, they're being savage with this range right here. This tells us bears are in control. Every time we get to these resistance levels, they just knock it down. Looking for a squeeze into the close, into the hourly candle close. You can already see it on Google. Squeeze it. Jump at $1.20. Looking for the 673 level. On the weeklies, if you sized up at that green blue line, you could also cut them in half and look for a dip buy. Remember, risk management at this blue line. This one right here. 673. I have my same day 676s. I'm going to press sell as soon as it touches it. I don't care what price it's at. I'm not trading my P&L. I'm trading the chart. They're probably going to wait it out till like 10:59 so that it hits it like right at 11 o'clock. Squeeze it. There you go. Rising volume. Close that. Gap up over this with rising volume. This is going to catch shorts if so. Come on. The shorts are stepping it. No, don't let them take control. Come on, dude. Gap up over this. SPY's almost green on the day. Oh, come on, QQQ. Quit doing it to me. Yeah. SPY, everything's at resistance here. If they can gap up over that. Telling you can do it. AMD has to wake up here. That's not good. Okay. 14 minutes. Okay, mega caps are starting to break over a very important level. Is it Google doing it? All right, guys, remember I told you guys that Google is a buy at 326. Remember that number. You could literally buy Google at 326. Here's the high. Squeeze it. It'll be amazing if we just gap up over this 673. But I have my sell order in just to at least rotate into safer contracts. Pop it. Come on. Give me another 20 cents. There you go. All right, I'm closing my same days at 107. Took a 30% loss on those, but no big deal. So I'm going to grab tomorrow expiration, 672s. Yeah, it kept squeezing like I wanted. Okay, I got a starter on tomorrow expiration. There's the AMD squeeze. I told you what happened in the close. What's Google looking like? Yeah, look at that. If I would have held, my same days would be almost green. It's probably going to go ahead and go up to the 61% if I had to guess, guys. So be mindful of that. The weeklies are now green. It's going to go up to this blue line right here. You guys could cut those in half now that they're green if you add it on the dip. Let me see what Google's looking like. Do we have anything here? 328. Do they have same day options? No, they only have 31st. Oh, those are kind of expensive. 330. I'm gonna buy a 330 July 31st Google call here at 4:30. Let me see if that fills. Okay, I bought a Google call here. Everything's playing out like I called, guys. We're getting the squeeze into the hour. This tells me I think the 11 to 12 o'clock dip gets bought. Keep that in mind. I have to be careful on the 745 rally, though, on SPY. There you go. Look at that squeeze. Yeah, if I would have held the 676s, they'd be green right now, but it is okay. Now you got to watch out. There could be a pullback here. This is where you trim, okay? The weeklies are now up like 8%. The AMDs, I think, are too far gone. I'm going to go ahead and close those 485s. I'm gonna accept that loss on that, to be honest. I would be so impressed if it just straight balled out and recovered that much, but I'm not betting on it just because it was a negative 6%. If it does, and I'm sorry, but we have to be a little rational here. A 10% swing from the low would be kind of crazy. It's not to say that it wouldn't be worth buying though, because if we get this reversal, it's going to do something here. So you could buy further out AMD calls. Actually, if you guys wanted to do that, if you wanted to do Friday expiration, next week expiration, 450s in the money, something like that, feel free to do that. I think that would be a safe spot to do it. Because as you're seeing, everything I said is playing out. So be mindful of that. Oh my God, look at QQQ. It's literally just squeezing. Yeah, so the same days I sold a loss would be green now, but that's okay. Okay, yeah, this is going to squeeze. This might actually just continue going on some crazy stuff. So the ones I bought for tomorrow expiration are up 12% now. The Google call is red. The weeklies are up 8%. So I closed the AMD play. I have a weekly QQQ that's up 8%. I have a Google that's flat. I have tomorrow expiration that's up 12%. If we're going to find resistance, it should be right around this 11 o'clock hour. There should be a small dip, and then we should rally again into 12 o'clock. And we should literally rally and grind our way throughout the day. The Google call is Friday expiration 330s, and I bought it at 430. So I'm down a bit right now. I think it's at 410. And now I'm green on the day. And if we can buy this set dip for the second half of the day, we're going to be sitting pretty. If I really wanted to get out of those 676s, or I would be up like 3,000 on the day trading account. But I sold those just because I was a little worried about decay because I was getting whooped so hard with it. Dude, look at this. When they're ready to rally it, they're ready to rally it. They don't let back. So QQQ is up with 1%. This purple line is the gatekeeper to higher prices. 675, bearish below 675. Let's do 675.50. So if you're going to take profit, it's here. But acceptance over 675, 676, and we see higher prices. I think we see higher prices based on these two charts and my hidden indicator, guys. This indicator right here is worth millions. I find so many of the crazy calls I call is because of this. This says Google and AMD are going higher. If Google and AMD are going higher, that means the indexes are going higher. That doesn't mean you rush in right here. It means you buy the dip if there's a dip, right? AMD, make sure, man. I don't know how AMD is going to perform with it being down negative 10% on the day. But this is telling me that we see higher. So just be mindful of that. And look at that hourly candle. That's a reversal candle with the highest volume in how many days? Look at this, guys. Since June 15th. What happened on June 15th? Okay, so that was a top, and it was a rejection. But the high volume candles at pivots indicate reversals. This is in demand. I called this in demand, right? Right. All of these lines right here point at it for a multitude of reasons. Ascending support, a little look below and fell, etc. At the very minimum, let's go ahead and draw this out. I think a back test of this breakdown is easily doable. So we're looking at 467. Okay, let's go ahead and draw something here. 468. I'm going to go a little bit under this supply zone, and I'm going to create a supply zone here for the top of this. I think 467 is easy money on AMD. It's at 453 currently. All right. 467, I think, comes easy. Google squeezing a little bit. SPY green on the day. Mega caps are green on the day. Look at this. They could literally take QQQ completely green. Be mindful of that. I think it's possible we dip to this red line. Actually, that is the trend. You guys see this? The trend on the uptrend is the red line. We drop to this level, and that's where you get your readd. If you sold up here at 674.50, you get a rebuy at almost a $2 discount. That's beautiful. So you're going to take your readds down here. Let's see if it happens. It shouldn't happen until the next hour, so they can bait people into the 11 o'clock time frame. If you trimmed the weekly QQQ calls up 8%, they should be around 740 at this red line if you want to re-add. All right, I'm taking an ad on the tomorrow expirations. I'm holding the weeklies. As soon as that touches it, I'm hitting it. All right, I'm hitting it. 612 on tomorrow expiration of 672s. All right, let's make sure everything looks good. Okay, I would actually prefer this to be a lot sharper into the 11 o'clock close. If this is like this is kind of not what I wanted to see, because this is a different look than what we just saw. So we should see a pop into the 11 o'clock. Let me take a look at Tesla. A little Tessie. It's got the reversal candle. So my indicator, guys, right here has marked significant bottoms as far as popping. You can see it popped here. There's a lot of grinding, but popping here, popped here, popped here. There's been some issues where it's been a bullish divergence. I think it's possible we see a rally here this time around on Tesla. All right. I'm saying right now is a buy on Tesla for the end of the week with the low day. as your stop loss. 300. I'm saying this is a tradable bottom. I'm not saying, well, I mean, I think this is a DCA bottom too in the medium to long term, but I think you can make, take next Friday, this Friday calls and make 20 to 30 to 40% and then get out as far as a tradable bottom. All right. So what we're seeing here is, let me see QQQ. Okay. So this is a structure that is building on the hourly. This is a structure zone. This is going to be supply or demand based on the direction it takes out of this zone. You take the high a day and low a day. All right. You take the high a day and the low of day, and then that is a structure for the direction it takes. So if it takes a direction, it will rally, find support, and then higher highs. If it breaks below, it finds demand, and then supply if it breaks below. Okay, you're starting to see it. All right. I'm calling Google, AMD, and Tesla higher right here. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and draw and write this out. All right. Google was at 325 when I called it. AMD was at 450. Tesla is at 304. All right. I think these prices go higher. Tesla is my least confident one. Okay. Let me put that out there. All right. I will be right back. I'm going to go grab something from downstairs. So the uptrend was broken off the red line. It's never fun. Let's see where we closed at. Guys, I have to say thank you so much for all of your support who have signed up to my Patreon in the last 30 days. Like, it's really awesome. There's nothing else to say. All right, guys, you guys see this pop, right? Was there news that just happened? Just got a significant jump. Shorts are just trying. See, this is going to mess these shorts up, guys. Do you see that? That's going to fuck these shorts. They're getting too comfortable. That could cause a big move. See, that's the thing. Like, so on an intraday level, I want to say that, but then I have a really strong bias on the 745, 747 on SPY. So we'll see. I know I just said that, but man, that's nuts. Yeah, high a day. Look at that. Remember, the gate to higher prices is the 74 level. Wait, I was looking at something downstairs. What was it? Okay, yeah. So this is where I think we might cap out on high a day right here. I think at some point we hit this blue line down here. Let me get rid of this one. I think at some point we hit this blue line that's descending, and then that might cap out on the high a day. I'm thinking it's possible we could see 334 on Google. If we see that, I'll close those Google calls. I'm not sure the price action of how AMD is going to work out. I do think this is a probable bottom for higher prices. There's a large inverse head and shoulders on the day intraday playing out. I had already called a cut in half at this level up here at 670, 470 Agni. And then I think the possible high a day is right around this level here at 676 on QQQ. So if we find ourselves up there, manage your risk accordingly, because that could be the high of day. So don't wait for me on anything. Manage all of your positions accordingly when QQQ hits this. Remember, I have insane win accuracy, so just take your small wins. They'll stack. In 30 days from now, you'll be sitting pretty in profit and you can take more risk on. But trying to hit home runs is going to blow up your account, especially if you oversize unevenly. Make sure you take the same position size on all trades. Because if you get too cocky or too confident because you have a bias or a preference in one of the names I choose and you overstack and oversize, you could blow up your account because you took the wrong trade, the only one to lose. Right? For example, like the AMD. Like if you took and went heavy on that one, the first one, the 680 or the 485s, that could literally blow up your account because you sized unevenly on that one versus the rest. Cheers. What you could do is when QQQ hits a 676 level, you can close every single thing except one Friday expiration runner and then look for a dip buy if it comes. So then if it leaves the station without us, you still make money on the intraday. Right? And then if it dips appropriately, then we're sitting really pretty for tomorrow's rally. All right, guys, Google is up to 330 from 325 when I originally called that. Up 20% on the calls that I purchased. Yeah, I'm looking at 334 for Google as far as I'm going to close the entire position. Could we rally more? Yes. But you guys got to realize there's a difference between a trading account and a investment account, okay? So I don't care about the full move in a trading account. I'm looking for the meat of it, right? Especially in these options. I'm making 40% in a trade. I put 5K in that, 2,000 bucks, you know? You know, with Google being up 20%, you could close it right now. If that was 10K, that's 2K. If it was 100K, that's 20K. But you can't put 100K in an intraday trade unless you have hundreds of thousands of dollars of profit to risk, right? You got to stack slowly so that you can size up appropriately. What am I, a rapper? I is the X chat working, guys? I haven't seen anyone talk all day. Google and QQQ look like they want to hit those targets at the exact same time, by the way. Google up 26%. Tesla starting to break out of the 304. I took Tesla calls, but I didn't announce them. Just because we're in too many positions, and I don't want you guys like. I haven't been trading long enough for you guys to have enough profit for me to be giving you that many open trades. And remember, everyone except Discord is on a 20-second delay. So be careful. If I tell you the target, make sure you're watching the chart. Don't wait for me to exit because it can hit the target and 20 seconds later you hear me say I exited it and it could have fully reversed by then. Discord is under less than 1 second delay. Everyone else is at 20-second delay. I see you, Peter, talking. Maybe just no one's talking, which is very surprising. Usually there's a lot of people talking. Guys, I'm not saying that this is the bottom to all-time highs. I'm saying it is a tradable bottom. In Discord, I talked about major trades on our swing trade ideas. Everything that I talk about in here is mainly just intraday trades. So be careful, be mindful. We're getting a squeeze on the Google, up 30%. On our tomorrow expiration QQQ calls, they're up 13%. They're slow and steady, but there's something. You're seeing AMD start to break out. Okay, I'm not looking for this blue line. I'm looking for this blue line. Google squeezing to my target. You guys see how my hidden indicator literally gave both that and AMD to us so far? AMD's up $4 from that. From a intraday options trading perspective, you're making 30, 40, 50% from this indicator. Okay, I just realized that the Google target is also at the descending resistance. We got to be careful here. I might close this mad early just because I don't want to. Up 43%. Tomorrow expirations, I'm selling. I just closed Google at 640. Oh, look at it, just shoot past it. That's wild. This could actually get insane if it does, but it is what it is. So I just closed tomorrow expirations and Google at 640. I don't know the percentages on them. Let me look. 1 second. And then my Tesla calls are up 17%. Okay, let me look. Oh my God, look at that. It is squeezing. This is wild. It's going to go for 678. Holy shit. Is it going to go green on the day? No, there's no way. All right, anyways, the Googles I sold at 640 for 48% profit. The tomorrow expirations, I sold at 24% profit at 783. And so you got to realize we're at descending resistance on Google and we're at descending resistance on QQQ. If we're going to reject, it's going to be here. Be careful. I just closed every single thing except Tesla, which you guys are not in. And I'm leaving one single Friday expiration. Actually, I'm going to close the 676. I'm closing the 676 and I'm going to do a 675. Okay, it is closed. My Tesla call is now up 20%. Let me see. I'm gonna leave Tesla just because. I don't know, guys. If this breaks out, this could get really bullish. But we just won a lot on the day. So I just closed every position except Tesla, which you guys are not in. Let's just sit here for a second. Let's see what happens. If we just blast off from here, I'm sorry we didn't get all the profit. We got a lot though. We got a $12 move on Google, guys. 50%. AMD rallied $5. Tesla's barely moved to $2. We got a multi-dollar move from QQQ. I was able to keep you guys calm and collected at the lows. You guys were probably panicking. Where are we at in SPY? We're at 741. Are they really going to squeeze this all the way up to the high? They could. It'd be an amazing thing. All right, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy one tomorrow expiration 675 QQQ call. And I'm just going to sit on that just in case. Because what they could do is rally us to 745 on SPY all the way to the close today. And then we gap down tomorrow. I'm getting a little greedy by re-entering, but it is what it is. We're now significantly green on the day. My trading portfolio is up 20% as an entire account. My bias is we sell off here, but if we squeeze, it's going to be a short squeeze. So it's going to be fast and strong. First stop would be 678. It could go all the way, QQQ could go all the way to 681 and fill this gap. Talking about those 676s, by the way, if I would have held those, woo. Let me just go theorycraft really quick. Yeah, that'd be a 10K day. They're really going to squeeze this, guys. Yeah, I think SPY looks like it's cleared everything to literally rally to 743, 744. I think QQQ actually does want this 678 before it stops. All right, the easiest money to make was right there. If you guys could go ahead and log off, don't continue trying to trade intraday. If you want to hold a Friday QQQ call in case it continues rallying, do that. I think some dips will get bought. You can come back in like an hour and a half around 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock and see if we've dipped 50%. If so, I think we rally to the highs. If we rally all day today, I think we sell off tomorrow. So just be mindful of all that. Yeah, if I would have held those, this would be like a 20K day for me in my trading account. Oops. QQQ did some nasty work though right here. All right, if you bought anything, if you held anything, the next trim point, the sell point will be this gold line, 678. Do not be greedy. Look at AMD. Just doing it. Like it could literally inverse head and shoulders this entire move and just be nasty with it. That'd be so nasty. Yeah. You guys got to look, pay attention to what kind of moves this demand zone in my indicator has given us, right? So this one was a 13% move. This one was an 11% move. This one was an 18% move. So we're sitting here at this low where historic rallies have given it a minimum of 11% over a week. You're looking at 10% for a gap fill. 485 easy mode. That's what you could be looking at over the next week. There's a supply zone here and the gold line. So we should see some resistance here. I think the easiest money to make was right here. I'm going to go ahead and step away from the computer. So I bought those tomorrow expirations. They're up 18%. If I wasn't talking, I would have sold all of them except one right here. I should have. Because I don't care. Like this is an intraday trading account, right? I don't need the whole move. So I need to be a little careful here. 1 second. So anyways, so what we're doing here is intraday trades. We don't need the whole move. You don't need to be in a position the entire trade. The fastest trades, the most profitable trades are the fastest ones. When you're in a position for hours, typically it results in a loser. Like if you go and you pull data from all your trades, I guarantee on an intraday perspective, if you hold a position longer than an hour, you lose. Your loss rate is probably over 80%. If you hold it over 20 minutes, your loss rate is still significantly high. The most profitable trades are like minutes to seconds. Okay. And then what happens is you get those quick trades and you're like, oh, I want more, right? There's got to be more meat on the move. And then you hold and you lose it, turn it into a loser. It's just statistics. All right, Joanna, have a good day. So just be mindful of that, right? We just got this full-blown move. I told you guys to buy this bottom, okay? Yes, our initial trades didn't make as much money, but we got this bottom. We're able to trade it, right? I called the Google Play. I called the AMD move. AMD has moved off 450 to 457, right? I told you guys these would rally at these levels. We got AMD at 450, Google at 325, and Tesla at 304. Tesla is currently at 306. It's barely moving, but it's moving. Every one of these was a trade literally down here. And I told you guys that. Right? Every one of these was a play. I put it on your screen. Like I put it on the screen right here. Right? You can't beat that. Okay. So with that being said, I'm going to go hit the gym up. I'll swing back around, maybe around power hour. What I'm going to do is I want to look for overextension on my weekly time frame high. If I see that, then I'm going to short tomorrow. Or I'll do future puts. Or if we see some retracement, right, I may buy the dip for into the close. Okay. I think the low is in for the week. If I had to guess, I think the low is in for the week, or if we sell off Friday, we gap down next week. Okay. So I don't think this low gets breached until at least Friday minimum. And then if something happens Friday, I think we gap down and we crash till like midweek to late next week. And then we create a significant bottom for a multi-week rally, probably the rest of August. I think we just slingshot rally, everything rallies, probably led by mega cap, just because they're all at such discounted prices. All right, let's take a look. BABA is persevering. MSTR going red to green. Right, is that red to green? That's negative 1%, but everything else was significant. Oracle going red to green. What's Netflix doing? Netflix is doing the damn thing as I said it would. Yeah, I think right now you're going to see some churning. Could we rally a little bit more? We could, but be mindful, be careful. Don't be arrogant. And I will check in with you guys. Also, please show my ex some love. I didn't post much today because I've spent the day with you guys making you money, okay? Show me some love, show me some appreciation. All right, take care. Okay,